At the end of the year, people like to do this thing where they take a look back at this arbitrary marking of the calendar and contemplate how things went, what they've done, how they've grown, how much the world around them has changed. I'm not a sentimental person, so that sort of thing is very difficult for me. But I figured I would give it a shot for you guys. 2021 has been a year full of, well, best not to get into all of that. Suffice it to say, it picked up right off where 2020 left and went sprinting with it. But that's not to say that there haven't been great things this year. For instance, this channel has seen the biggest amount of growth that it has ever had. Admittedly, Hell Yeah Gaming has only existed for a little more than 2 years, but come on, I'm allowed to celebrate my accomplishments, right? So in the spirit of the new year, we are going to take a look back at my personal favorite top 10 moments of Hell Yeah Gaming in 2021. In 2021, we finally completed Danganronpa. This entry may seem underwhelming at first. Finishing a game on a gaming channel, much less a visual novel with minimal gameplay mechanics? How is that an accomplishment worthy of making a top 10 list? To that I say, go check our playlists. Look at the entire backlog of games that we've played and tell me how many of them have actually been completed. Much less how many that I played with my cursed skeleton guardian N. Believe it or not, at the time of this video, we've finished less than half the games we've set out to play here. The fact that N's cursed guardian duties mean my ability to summon her participation are rare makes that even more impressive, as does the sheer length of Danganronpa. And not to toot our own horn too much, but if you watch the whole playlist, and please do, you'll be amazed at how awesome we were at solving not just every single case long before the protagonists, but the overarching mysteries of the world as well. All in all, it was a perfect storm of perseverance, logical deduction, and fun murderous robot bears that made this list. Okay, I don't have a lot to say here, and I'm sure this is another entry that's fairly confusing, so I'll just let my initial reaction tell you why this is one of my favorite hell yeah moments of the year. Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt? What? He'll be talking a lot in the... Oh. Chris Pratt? Jack Black is Bowser? I love it! Will this movie be good? I have serious doubts. Will it be bad? That's more likely. But will it be entertaining? That's practically guaranteed at this point, and I'm looking forward to it. Besides, I'm always excited to see my man Jables in anything, and if this movie has a musical segment, you just know Jack Black is gonna sing the most amazing villain song of all time!
Do I look like I need your power?
Yes, from a movie announcement to a movie trailer. We move on from video game's biggest mascot to his breakout rival, Sonic the Hedgehog. This goes above the Mario movie cast announcement for a few reasons. First, because it's an actual trailer, something to get hyped by, and oh boy does it get me hyped. Second, because we already know the first Sonic movie was great, after some constructive criticism from the audience. It gives me greater expectations and confidence in the sequel. Honestly, it feels like the first movie was a more grounded piece to serve as a proof of concept, and now that it proved to be a big success, they're going into the sequel with the accelerator to the floor. Pun intended. I mean, have you seen this trailer? We're getting the most badass Knuckles I've ever seen. Tails, played by his official voice actress from the games, flying the tornado. An emerald that looks like it could be the Master Emerald or a Chaos Emerald. The floating holy land of Angel Island. And Jim Carrey looks way more like Robotnik than before. With the outfit, the crazy stash, and even his drones are designed in ways that resemble the games more. Look at that robot and tell me it wasn't made with the B-Bot in mind. Tell me! At this point, I can't wait for Sonic 2 and Knuckles to hit theaters. It's gotta come fast. The majority of my content is Let's Plays, and let's be real, they don't do all that great. But they're all I have time for usually. They're quick, simple to edit together, and I can make them in large batches. That's why, when I create a bigger video with more scripting, more effects, and a narrative at play, I'm extremely happy when it performs well. That was the case with my very first video game review in which I covered Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. To this day, it's the one video that I am the most proud of making, so when it broke 1,000 views, I was ecstatic. It's normal for my death battle reactions to make and break those numbers with great regularity, but for something I put legitimate effort into, that I really enjoyed making, it sent my heart aflutter. That people could spend actual time listening to my opinions on the game's story, its mechanics, what does and doesn't work about it, it feels a bit unreal. Magical. Like my magic staff, but even better. I absolutely want to make more game reviews, but it all comes down to how much time I have available, what's popular, and a whole host of other issues. Maybe you'll get another one soon. In the meantime, you can go watch my review of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. So once in a while, you'll start something that feels like a good idea, only to realize later that it just kind of sucks. Maybe it's not feasible to keep it consistent, maybe it's too taxing for your mental health, or maybe it detracts all the wrong people. In my case, hosting giveaways was all of these and more, which is why I'm incredibly glad I made the decision to get rid of them. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to give back to the community. While I'm something of a penny pincher in my personal life, I've always been extremely charitable when it comes to other people. That's why hosting giveaways on Hell Yeah Gaming seemed to be a slam dunk at first. Others would have the joy of receiving something from me, and by spreading the word, I could gain an untapped audience market. Unfortunately, it didn't exactly work out that way, and I won't get into too many details since I made a whole video about it, which you can watch from a link in the description below or by clicking the iCard in the corner of this video. But it turned out to be a terrible idea and a terrible investment on my part, and I'm glad to be done with it. If and when I ever get to be big enough to host them regularly, without the accompanying despair, I'll be glad to bring them back. I'll go full-on Uncle Pennybags if I can. Until then, sadly, I must be the miserly Scrooge. And it feels great. YouTube rolled out a new function this year called Shorts, as a means to compete with apps like TikTok and Instagram. And I've got to say, their system is pretty great if you know how to use it. I definitely wouldn't say that I'm the best at it, but I think Shorts have done pretty okay for me thanks to my love of bad puns and video games colliding. When I started rolling out daily video game dad jokes, I started reaching to a whole new audience in ways that the previous entry on this list couldn't hope to achieve. The way YouTube changes out which shorts go through their official feed constantly means that I'm constantly hitting new faces who would never see my content in any other context. Thanks to that, my subscriber base has increased this year by an absolutely stunning amount. If you originally came across this channel thanks to video game dad jokes and you made it this far in the list, drop a comment below to say hi. Don't worry, you can drop as many comments as you want and they won't get hurt. Since it's winter, there's no fall damage. Finally, after 16 long years, we finally have it. The sequel to the cult classic, one of my personal all-time favorite games ever, Psychonauts 2. If you're keeping up with my Let's Play of the game, you'll already have an understanding of how much love and joy I have for these characters, this world, this story. When the original teaser trailer dropped in 2015, I couldn't contain my excitement. Then, as the years passed on, and we heard more about troubled productions, the team turning to crowdsourcing, delay after delay, I began to lose all hope. I felt like I was adrift in life on a raft of despair, clinging tightly against tidal waves that wanted to break me. But I never gave up entirely. It was as though I had a bacon-loving old man in my head telling me not to lose sight, because the storm would subside. And subside it did. Psychonauts 2 finally launched this year, and to my utter delight, it is not only everything I could have hoped it would be, but more. Playing the game for the first time felt like Raz had entered my brain and cleared out all the mental cobwebs, fought my nightmares, and brought me back to my best self. Then to see it get so much love and attention from others, to see it nominated for so many categories at the Game Awards, including Game of the Year, it sent my heart aflutter all over again. I went into 2021 as Jeff, the YouTuber, but I'm coming out of it as Jeff, the Psychonaut. After such a glowing rave of love, how could the release of Psychonauts 2 be a mere 4th place? What could possibly beat it, much less 3 separate things? Well, for one, how about you? Yes, all of you watching this video right now. All 750 of you. Okay, I know there's no chance in hell that all 750 subscribers are watching this video, but still, 750. That's an incredible number. 3/4 of the way to monetization at good ol' 1,000. Sure, it's tiny compared to the big names or even the moderate names of YouTube, but let's pull back our perspective for a moment, shall we? By all accounts, 750 people is an incredible amount. The average movie theater houses between 200 and 300 people. So think about it. If we wanted all 750 people to watch this channel in the theater, we'd have to rent at minimum 3 screens, or as many as 4 screens, to have enough seating for all of you. Just trying to comprehend that is breaking my mind. Like, I literally cannot comprehend that as I say it out loud. Wow. Just wow. You're awesome. And thank you so much. It's no secret that over the last year and a half, I've been designing 2 games off and on whenever my ADHD brain will allow me to fixate on one of these 2 massive projects. The first is an entirely original Pokemon region, which I have dubbed the Centeal region. The second is a fighting game, which, after polling the audience in both the community tab on this channel and my followers on Twitter, has an official name: Quantum Combat. Unfortunately, as things have developed, you've been kept in the dark with minimal information, and that's for a good reason. Both of these projects will have entire video series dedicated to them. That said, I've been able to make big strides in both projects, and I cannot tell you how happy it makes me to see legitimate progress on them. In fact, I imagine that I'll start making videos on Quantum Combat as early as the first quarter of 2022, so be on the lookout for those. Pokemon Centeal region is a much bigger animal that'll take a great deal longer before videos can be made. But do you want to know a secret? Come in. Come closer. Closer. Little too close. Ah, good. That'll do. I've gotten art back for both projects. I'm saving the character art of Quantum Combat for profile videos, but you can see what I've gotten back for Centeal. Follow the artist. Her links are in the description below. Introducing 3 brand new evolutions. The first is Nimbion. This flying type evolution of Eevee is named for both the nimbus clouds it resembles and for how it's a graceful and nimble dancer. Second is Obsidian. This rock type evolution is both hard as stone and sharp as a razor, named for the igneous rock obsidian. Last, we have Luxion. This normal type evolution, named for the shining stones and radiant light it emits, is the king of Eevees, capable of using moves from all types, and only evolves in a very special location in the Centeal region. I hope to see you there. Number 1. I've covered a huge gamut of content, both events on the channel itself and larger moments in the gaming community that I have a personal interest in. However, my all-time favorite Hell Yeah gaming moment is one that expands beyond just this channel and my personal interests. This is an event that involves other people, not just from YouTube and from gaming, but entertainment in general. My number 1 Hell Yeah gaming moment of 2021 is voicing Veltro, the Demon General of Baldista, in Battle Geek Plus's review of Dragon Quest X version 5. Battle Geek Plus is another gaming channel and one of my early inspirations. Run and operated by Ryan Molina, he's moved his content from general gaming to a more niche focus on a little RPG series of some small acclaim called Dragon Quest. The RPG series, the grandpappy of the entire genre. Ryan is one of the only Western content creators who is able to focus on and give people content based on Dragon Quest X, due to it being a Japanese-only MMO, and as such, he goes all out, whole hog, king slime on his Dragon Quest X content, making reviews of every story update into a multi-hour narrative that involves using green screen effects to put himself into the cutscenes, as well as hiring a whole voice cast to give the characters an English presentation. His latest addition to the ongoing series, version 5, includes none other than myself, your favorite magical hero YouTube gamer. The role itself isn't anything huge, not one of the main cast or anything like that, but Veltro brings forth a lot of personality, so it was incredibly fun to bring him to life for an English-speaking audience. In fact, to my knowledge, it's the only English dubbing of the character, or even the whole game, available for anybody to watch. To see my performance next to a series of professional voice actors that Ryan hired, including voiceover legend Gilbert Gottfried himself, is still unreal. It's even more unreal to see so many people complimenting my performance right next to actual professionals. Ryan, this is a personal thank you for inviting me to be part of this project. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for keeping me in mind in the future. To everyone else, go watch Battle Geek Plus. The channel link is in the description below. And that's it for 2021. It's definitely been a year full of things. Things that have been happening. But despite the things, there have been plenty of blessings and fortunes for Hell Yeah Gaming. And I look forward to many more going into 2022. I will see you next time in my video of my top 10 most anticipated games of 2022. You know, as long as the world doesn't burn down before that happens. I know I'll be doing my part. Magic Staff, away!